Modesty is about not a shameful hiding, but a veiling that which is sacred, right? And a showing due honor. Modesty doesn't have to be a hush-hush thing. It doesn't have to be a prudish thing, right? It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad idea, and it can be done beautifully.
Thou shalt not be able to see God, having no longer the eyes that God has made, but those the devil has unmade.
This has been hot takes only. You're hiding God's handiwork and turning into something else. Why?
Hey y'all, it's Sarah with another podcast of How Great Thou Art. In the podcast, we talk about all things art, Catholicism, and Catholic art. I am here with part 2. I am back with our seminarian Luke, who is here in Tyler with us. And I kind of wanted to talk about, I don't know how much you studied Thomas Aquinas.
A little bit, some. I'm not, I don't confidently retain everything I read, so we'll see.
Gotta get better at that.
It just comes, you know. It comes when you need.
You're not a Dominican. You're not gonna be like
I'm not a Dominican,
studying books. No, it's funny. They always quote Aquinas. But I was listening to a Pints of Aquinas podcast recently, and I just thought that this can be tied in with modesty and art. I also think of like art in different forms. Right now, I'm kind of thinking about like modesty in common dress. One being my wedding coming up. I was kind of doing some browsing of wedding dress styles. I was very uncomfortable, like with, for some reason, David's bridal has like 50 to 75% strapless dresses, and I'm uncomfortable with those dresses for multiple reasons.
As you should be.
But I've seen so many people, somehow their churches let them, like even Catholic churches, like I don't know how they let them go strapless. I'm like, I can't.
Yep. So keep looking. I hope you find something great.
Oh no,
if you need like an idea recommendation.
No, I'm set. My mom is actually making my dress.
There you
so
go. What is it? The Sound of Music. She has a great wedding dress in that movie. So check it out. Have you seen it?
No.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I've seen bits and pieces, but like I need to see The Sound of Music.
A classic. Again. A must see.
Yeah.
But it's like
Was it Julie Andrews, right?
I'm not the best on actors and actresses.
I'm pretty sure it's Julie Andrews.
Take pretty for it. I've seen it. You haven't seen it, but you know. So there we go.
Yeah. But to tie in like just how we dress, like formally or informally, I think of girls in makeup covering their faces, covering their natural beauty.
Yeah. It is a weird thing, like, especially you get into formal attire or special occasions, like, it tends to be dressing down. It's just like, why? What are we going for? I think we talked about last time, right? Modesty is about not a shameful hiding, but a veiling that which is sacred, right? And a showing due honor. Giving protection to a certain extent, but showing kind of honor and respect to what deserves honor and respect. And so that can go hand in hand with dressing nicely, dressing well, looking attractive. But for some reason, like, most fashion does not line up that way. And it is kind of like, I think we're missing the point, right? What is the point? What kind of attention are you trying to draw, right? Do you want a base level, kind of the animal instinct level attraction, or do you want, right? Like the attraction when someone like sees a mystery, like Moses in the burning bush, like, what is this? Like, I can't comprehend this. It's fascinating me. It captures my attention, right? This bush is on fire, yet not consumed. I'm gonna go, I want to know more about it. I want to pursue it. I think modesty is the same way. It's like, who is this person? I don't know. They're not showing me, everything. So I have to have a conversation with them. I have to get to know them to know more about them. And I think that's what, I think modesty and beauty go hand in hand that way. And before I forget, I'll give I don't want to say shout out. I heard about a book that a local wrote. I think her name's Catherine Rose, Return to Beauty. It's about modesty. Okay. Sounds great. The person, I don't know them personally, but people who know them say it's a great lady, wrote this book on modesty. So I recommend it. It's on my cart on Amazon right now. I'll probably get it and read it soon. I haven't read it yet, so as far as I can recommend it, I do. But I'm just like, I heard today about it, and like, oh, I'm happy someone else is kind of like starting to have this conversation and kind of talk about it, right? Modesty doesn't have to be a hush-hush thing. It doesn't have to be a prudish thing, right? It's not a hiding in shame. It is, we can recapture beauty, and we can have like a elevated sense of beauty through modesty.
People just bring such a negative light to it because they feel like Catholics or just anyone that like cares about modesty just cares too much about the rules or something, that like they feel like we're wanting to, I guess, have too much control. Like they want modesty. They think that modesty is like, I don't know, some like negative way of controlling us.
Sure. Yeah. I don't know. It is a both and, right? You do kind of need some. That's what I think is missing a lot of times when we do finally talk about it, is sometimes some practical applications. Like, what does it actually look like in addition to the point? Sometimes we talk about the point, but we miss the practicals. We talk about the practicals, but we miss kind of the purpose behind it. And it's, again, that sense of dignity, honor, what kind of attention are you attracting, and then also how to do it. I hope we kind of get there at least as a Catholic culture, then hopefully influence broader society and culture to be like, it's not a bad thing, it's not a bad idea, and it can be done beautifully.
So I heard a quote from, I guess, Saint Cyprian. It says, "I hold that not only virgins and widows, but also wives and all women, without exception, should be admonished that no way should they deface God's work and fabric, the clay that he has fashioned with the aid of yellow pigment, black powders, or rouge, or by applying any dye that alters natural features. They lay hands on God when they strive to reform as what he has formed. Is insult to divine handiwork, a distortion of the truth. Thou shalt not be able to see God, having no longer the eyes that God has made, but those the devil has unmade." I feel like
this has been hot takes only.
I don't know, I just see so much, when I definitely see negativity, I definitely see where the devil is like rooting for their side and just has them in his grasp, that just bringing so much negativity toward what we just try to bring the good light back to what they should be seeing as God's divine work.
Yeah. So that's, I guess, like, there is some writings. I guess some saints have some guidances, opinions on what modesty should be or what it's about. And I think what we're called to now is to kind of supplement that. So this guy's like really lambasting cosmetics, like, why you're hiding God's handiwork and turning it into something else. Why? Maybe he doesn't ask that question. I think it's important for us to ask, like, why, right? Like, okay, is makeup 100% bad all the time? I wouldn't say so, but like, what is the point? Are you unhappy with the way God made you, right? Are you not comfortable? Like, there might be kind of a deeper root issue. And I get it, like, if you bump your head, get a bruise, right? And to kind of like, okay, make it blend in, especially for a special occasion at the end type thing. What attention are you looking for? If I have, a big like gash in my head, that could be distracting. Someone's not gonna be looking me in the eye while I talk with them. They'll be like, what is that thing on his forehead? So I get it. Like, there's times you don't want to like alter your appearance, right? But like supplement, augment, whatever, kind of just kind of, what are you going for? What do I want someone to pay attention to? I think that's another important question to ask. Like, what's something you want someone to know about you? And a lot of times it might be, I think I've heard this from, or maybe secondhand, but like someone asked, like girls in high school, like, what do you want someone to notice about you or to know about you, or that most people don't? And it's like, well, how smart I am. It's like, okay, for someone to know that, one needs to have, like, they need to have a conversation with you, and like an elevated conversation. And so, are you inviting that by the way you dress, by the way you act, by the way you speak, right?
Like, if you're distracting them from that conversation that you could be having.
If you dress down, you're not going to attract that conversation. If your conversation is also at a base level, which I think I don't have a very filled in opinion on this, but kind of the interwovenness of like how we dress, how we speak, and how we act, how that influences. I don't know if you have opinions on this. Like, I think the way that girls dress can really affect the way that guys act. But I wonder, like, do the way that guys speak, does that affect the way that girls act? Or vice versa? This is not like a thought in the back of my mind. This is kind of the next thing I think for me to ponder and explore.
There's a lot of things that each male and female do that like alter the other.
They're just thinking like in a number of ways how do we, guide our own thoughts, but then also like those of others, and kind of every level of interaction with them, I think, influences it. So, right, if it's crude humor, or kind of suggestive speech, right? How is that guiding someone else's thoughts? And then how does that influence their actions? And I think it's all, again, like interrelated and underdeveloped. Check the camera.
This podcast is supported by my Etsy shop, Angelic Designs by Sarah. I hand make every rosary and devotional jewelry you see in my shop. And if you're interested in wholesale items or custom rosaries, please message me through my Etsy or through my email at angelic.designs.2019@gmail.com. The link for my Etsy shop is in the show notes below. So in this girl's blog that I was reading, she says that women are told that if they dress in a way that is overly sexual, they can tempt their Christian brothers into sin and may end up in sexual sin themselves. So a lot of the pressure seems to be on the women, which I understand, and then they seem to be shooting it back to them like it's just how the guy acts, so it's his problem. They definitely have they try to like pass the ball back to their court in a very negative, like non-conversational but very confrontational way.
Kind of two things, I guess. I think, man or not, right? I think one we can connect on is just, what are you looking for? What kind of attention, are you seeking, right? Do you just want someone to look at a part of your body, or to see you as a full person and get to know you, right? And the hidden aspects of you, whether it be intelligence, sense of humor, right? Or the, like married couples have been married a long time, like they keep learning more and more about each other. And so do you want someone to get to know those deep aspects, how you show kindness, how you show patience, right? And like, okay, what is necessary to invite someone into that, right? To go on that journey with you, to come to know these deeper aspects of you. I argue like dressing immodestly kind of stops it there, right? Especially like a guy who will then give into that attraction, right? Dressing immodestly attracts lustful attention. And he'll stop there. Men aren't really drawn further than that. Or a guy who will give in to lustful attraction probably won't be drawn further than that. Caveat. And then on the other side, just, okay, not to be Catholic, but going to the Bible is the old question, am I my brother's keeper, right? That's what Cain says to God about Abel. And the answer is yes. Like, yes, you are your brother's keeper. We are called to look out for each other and help each other. And then what Jesus says in the gospel as well, right? Temptation will come, and it's on each of us, right? It's our own responsibility to combat that, to fight that, to guard ourselves. But he also says, woe to him by whom they come. So if we willingly tempt others, either intentionally or through negligence, that's on us as well. And again, could I say, I think when we do talk about modesty, yeah, it does seem to put a lot on women. It's not just on women, it's on men as well. And that's what I was kind of wondering, like, okay, do men more by their speech or actions, or also their dress? How does that influence women? And I think that conversation needs to be had and developed, because like I don't have as much of an idea there. I'm kind of going from my own experience, and just knowing, okay, like, how does the way that a woman dresses affect me? What is helpful, what is not?
I see it definitely depends on the situation, because like what we were talking about last time with the beach, like there's just certain situations and people have different opinions about modesty at the beach. I am okay with it, but mostly because of my upbringing that I was okay with it. Yeah, it just depends on how you view it.
I think we mentioned like sports, and I was a swimmer. Did summer swim team most of my life growing up. And it's like, okay, there is a purpose, right? Like a jammer, right? Like swimsuits, they're tight fitting, they're semi-hydrophobic, so you can swim, through the water quickly. And that I kind of noticed was different, right? Like compared to, like a skirt and a t-shirt, or slacks and a polo, right? A swimsuit's not modest. But it's like we're all there for a purpose, like to get faster at swimming and to swim a ton of laps. And so kind of that common purpose kind of like took the attention off of how does someone look in their swimsuit, as to we're all like, there's a different goal.
I think it definitely depends on your intention.
At the beach, though, it's like I don't like sunscreen. I don't like the sun on me, so I kind of don't personally get it. But I'm like, you want to expose your body to the sun and incidentally to the view of everyone else, like for a tan. Like, why? Just do some farm labor, get a good farmer's tan. You know?
Do something productive with you.
Like,
No, I think modesty definitely. I heard that it's an outward sign of your inward disposition. Kind of like going to mass. Like if I wanted to be very reverent to the Eucharist, like I will dress very modestly. I will cover my head with a veil. I've recently started doing that, and I've just felt so much more kind of connected with God in a sense doing that. I've heard some people saying that like they just will get weird looks while doing that. It just depends on what you're comfortable with. I understand, but
I get weird looks wearing a cassock, but yeah.
I've heard on multiple podcasts about them going out to like the store and getting weird looks, but also like attention that like I don't know, a normal Catholic like me, like people wouldn't look at me in public and be like, "Oh, she's Catholic."
It is. Well, it depends on the place. My mom and my sister, they went somewhere. I think it was Mexico City or something. I can't remember. And they're just, they were just modesty, long skirts, blouses with sleeves, and like volunteering with missionaries at charity. But like walking to there, from there, whatever is like, people may have asked them if they were nuns, like only nuns wear skirts. Now it's like, no, like a lady, who wants to dress both beautifully and modestly can wear a skirt. Like you don't have to be a nun to do this.
Yeah. For the longest time, I guess not the longest time, for a person that used to be addicted to true crime, and I watched a lot of like visual like reenactments, mostly of like of Mormons. I was always connecting, like long skirts, and I guess they would cover their heads sometimes they wouldn't, but I would like mostly connect with Mormons.
Mormons or Baptists, yeah.
I don't know about Baptists. I grew up like around a lot of Baptists, but
so that's like, and they're able to play ultimate frisbee in it. It's like it's okay. That's where I throw out some arguments of like, well, it's more comfortable or it's more flexible. It's like, yeah, but there's also kind of a laziness there. Like, I dress this way, and like, yes, it's hot. Yes, it's uncomfortable sometimes, but to show who we are, right? A priest ought to dress as a priest. A nun ought to dress as a nun, right? A child of God ought to dress as a child of God. And something I was thinking a minute or two ago, you said something, it's like, why do we dress the way we do?
Like that
and is it revealing kind of some other like maybe insecurity, right? If someone dresses immodestly, man or woman, right? It's like, do you not know that you are seen and loved by God, and so you're trying to demand the attention of others by the way you dress, right? Dressing provocatively we talked about this last time, it can like force attention in a way, but not good attention, but it's some attention, that maybe that feels good, especially if we're, insecure and feeling unseen. But it's like, okay, we got to go to the root of the issue, right? Just kind of sticking a Band-Aid and a poor Band-Aid at that, right? If I am insecure about being seen as I am, known for who I am, loved as I am, right? Ultimately, that needs to come from God. Hopefully next from family, from close friends. If we're not receiving it there, and we don't receive something good in that way, right? Like love, acceptance, just being seen, being known from where it should come from. Whenever we try to fill it with something else, we usually call those vices, right? If I look for solace or comfort in something like alcohol, it's not where it's supposed to come from. It's going to go south pretty quickly. On the other side, right? It might look modest exteriorly, but if I'm hiding because I'm uncomfortable of who I am, there's kind of an issue there. And so you want to get to the root of the issue, right? Like, are we comfortable with who God made us, how we stand before God, right? Is our life in order? Or are we hiding from something or looking for something in the wrong place? And that just leads to problems down the line, right? Maybe, you might not experience an issue dressing a certain way immodestly, or it might look, modest exteriorly, but if it's masking a deeper issue, that'll probably come up and come out sideways further down. So I guess my whole point with that rant is like, it's in your best interest and everyone's to dress modestly, right? right? Kind of to rest securely, like that God does see us, know us, and love us. Those who care about us will get to know us, and will be seen in the ways that we really want to, right? Not attracting just lustful attention, but to be seen on a deeper level, known on a deeper level, accepted on that level. I think that's what really everyone is craving, right? We all desire to be seen, to be known, to be loved, and communion there. That's ultimately what heaven is. Like all these things are manifestations of our hunger for heaven. That's what we were made for. I argue that like virtue, modesty, being one of them, is the best way to achieve that. So, hot takes.
I think I'm going to end part 2 right there.
Okay.
All right. Well, I didn't do this last time. I feel bad. So I want to thank you, Luke, for indulging in conversation with me about
You're very welcome.
modesty.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, of course. All right. So please like and subscribe. Share this video if you feel so called to do so. Comment what you liked about this episode and ask me a question, or give me a idea of a topic you would like me to talk about in the future.
Smash that subscribe button.
Oh my goodness.
Share it on all your platforms.
So please pray for me as I start a new chapter in my life. As I have shared previously, I am moving in a few days. So please pray for me. Please pray for Luke as he discerns the priesthood. I should be a priest in about 2 years.
God willing.
God willing. All right. And for this podcast to reach the people it's intended to, and I'll be definitely praying for you all. So God bless.
Peace.